Let them keep their drinking water clean and safe for healthy life. They will be like our friend then.
This is a Hygiene for Health campaign message from the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, Ministry of Health, Watch Commission, with support from Water Aid.
Our health is knowing, make it better. Let's work together.
Water Aid Liberia presents Our Boys, a 1 hour program that is aired on 2 FM every Tuesday at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. For boys gives women and girls the space to air their voices about issues that bother many on water, sanitation, and hygiene. The show seeks to increase knowledge and share information, influence decisions, strengthen collaboration, and solicit ideas to enhance women's potential to access and afford sustainable services for clean water, decent toilets, and good hygiene, nutrition, as well as their sexual and reproductive health and rights. WaterAid's mission is to transform the lives of the poorest and most marginalized people by expanding and improving access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene.
Or keep our drinking water clean and safe, we and our children will be healthy.
Don't miss out on this educated show that gives women and girls the space to air their voices about issues that border on water, sanitation, and hygiene. For boys, every Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on True FM.
Our health is knowing, make it better. Let's work together. Mama,
Yes, Denny.
Mama, you always telling me that when we finish cooking, to be careful where we keep our food and to wash the dishes with soap and clean water and keep it in a clean dish rack. Why, Mama?
Because according to the data people, it is good for us to cover our food properly and put it in a clean and safe place so rats, roaches, ants, or flies and other animals can sit down on it and leave germs on the food to make us sick.
For you, Mama.
Oh yes, Denny. According to the data people, we must always wash our dishes with soap and clean water. Put them on a dish rack so that rats, roaches, ants, or flies and other animals can sit down on them and leave germs on the food to make us sick.
Thank you, Mama, for telling me this. From now on, we will take care of our food and dishes so that rats, roaches, ants, or flies, and other animals cannot sit on it to give us sickness.
So I call on everybody to always cover their food properly, wash their dishes with soap and clean water, and put it on a dish rack so that animals can play in it. Then it will prevent sickness.
This is a Hygiene for Health campaign message from the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, Ministry of Health, Watch Commission, with support from Water Aid.
All right. So want to say welcome back. Our health, our life. If you want to be very successful, you gotta consider your health. You got to know that health is wealth. So it's good to be back again on Her Voice radio program. And we want to say thanks to our sponsor, Water Aid Liberia, and to all of our many listeners and viewers. And we want to say welcome to another interesting time. And I have Princess. Princess, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Magdalene. Hello, morning.
Yes, I'm fine. So today we have Joseph Sabonda. He's a director. He's a director of projects and planning at the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, and it's good to have you on this morning. Good morning, sir.
Having me.
Okay. Yes, director. Projects and planning. So yes, Mr. I would just be calling you.
It's okay. It's okay. There's no problem.
All right. So is it first time at Truth FM or first time on Her Voice?
Yes, first time at Truth FM.
Oh, wow. So welcome. Why long we been here? Why you not been coming around?
I've been coming around for different purposes, but for interview, first time.
Okay, so it's good to have you. Please feel relaxed, and this is yeah. So, all right. So tell us about this position. We want to know your role at the Liberal Water and Sewer.
Well, my role at the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation is quite simple. What we do is that we write projects for funding, and then our own internal operations, we do quality control. So when we have internal projects going on, we designate staff from a department to go and do monitoring, supervision, and then to ensure that the projects are implemented according to the books, according to what is written and specified for the project.
Okay, so quality control, monitoring, supervision. Okay, so you the big man for that entire department. You mean the Republic of Liberia or only Monserrate?
Now, within our coverage areas,
And what are those areas?
we have stations in Grand Gila, in Kakata, Magibi, in Bikana, in Monserrate, everywhere that Water and Sewer has stations.
Meaning that the whole country.
Yeah,
You
of
want to the
course.
whole country? But I mean, you call over. I mean, so but specifically, tell me how many counties, if you have that on record, how many counties we have
Right now we have functioning cities. We have Sanikole, we have Fonjama, we have Cape Mount. Cape Mount, those three counties are just named. They are under the PPP arrangement, so we don't have too much role play in that.
Okay,
And then for
so please, I beg you, you know this platform. I mean, we focus our focus is on girls and women, young women and girls. I'm sorry, young girls and women, right? And then we'll also get our own money that can follow the show. They can wow. So we will try as much as possible because you're not put me in problem and then you finish go back to water and you go sit down. So you will break everything down in a simplest term so our people way on our side that you understand everything you'll be saying here today because they like to call and they want to know everything how the position you are running how it is operating at the Liberia and water and sewer. So you said PPP.
so public-private partnership.
Okay.
Right? So you enter an agreement with a private institution so that they can manage a component of your supply facilities. For instance, we have Sanikole, and then we have Ponjam.
Mm-hmm.
So what has happened is that USAID has helped us to rehabilitate and build some of the systems.
Okay.
So they have gone through a PPP arrangement so that another institution can help manage it. This is all to improve efficiency so that water can be reached to all parts of the areas that we have coverage currently.
Okay, so those of you following want to say once more welcome. I'm Michael Finasari. I'm here with Princess Zuza. We got our guest. He's Mr. Joseph Sabonda from the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. He's the Director of Projects and Planning. Today, our focus is on learning and reflections from the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation project implementation in the counties at the national level. So it's not only about Monserrate, it's not only about Monrovia and its environs, it's covering all those counties and that they got stations. You just listen to him. So let's talk about some of those recent projects you've been monitoring and providing supervision.
Okay, some of the projects that we did, let's start from 2017.
Okay, so you've been holding this position from
No,
2017?
in different capacities, but I was
Okay,
involved with
different
the
capacities.
with the project. So I was the clerk of work on the African Development Bank sponsor project, which is the Urban Water Supply and Sanitation Project.
Okay.
So that project constructed many groundwater systems in Grand Chile,
Mhm.
Margibi, and then Buchanan. So the project component of the project also constructed groundwater schemes in New Georgia Estate and then Soul Clinic. And also when you are going to town, the fish market where you see the trucks collecting water,
Mhm.
that booster station was also constructed by that project.
Okay.
So we have been involved with those projects in the past times, and they are actually helping us. So for the groundwater schemes, you know that we have been trying to decentralize water supply, and for decentralization of water supply, there are different dynamics. For Monserrado, we have centralized water supply system that
Mhm.
comes from the St. Paul River, where we get the raw water from the Mankope Hydro Dam. But for the rural part of Liberia, it is a different dynamics. You might not have the surface water close to the point where you want to construct your water facility.
Mhm.
So we tap into the groundwater. So we drill boreholes and use pumps to elevate into a tower and then supply by gravity. So the project was able to do that, and
Mhm.
then also constructed a few sanitation facilities to make sure that the sanitation aspect of our own function is carried out.
From 2017.
Yes.
So these are projects that you've been working on from 2017.
Yes. Principally, I work on the fish market booster and then the New Georgia
So you're not able to
systems.
reach in the
So,
rural area.
so what I did for rural areas is that the social connection aspect, I
Mhm.
manage that aspect, and the supervision for the construction of household connections.
Okay. So that from 2017 now to 2023,
Mhm.
they in new position now.
It's been changing over the time.
Okay, so tell us now the current projects, the current projects you're working on.
Currently, what we have done since the beginning of this new administration, we managed to do the rehabilitation of the city reservoir. The city reservoir is located in Maba Point, Obduka, and is a 1 million storage facility, 1 million gallons. So that reservoir is what we use to supply the entire central Monrovia. In time past, each time we supply water to the reservoir, we notice loss in volume. The water level reduces without supplying the water. So we did an assessment, and then through the World Bank Urban Water Supply Project, the institution got funding, and then that project was done. That's the reason why now we have restored water to Central Monrovia.
Okay, so that's for the city
For
reservoir
the city
that have
reservoir.
1 million
Yes.
only for Monrovia and its environs.
Yes.
So we will increase it on our own.
So for Painesville, we have the 36-inch pipeline that comes from White Plains near the Hydro Power Dam that we have Mankofe.
Mhm.
So we supply water from that centralized point and we distribute to homes in Painesville. So if you live on the Rawafi Highway, we have a 10-inch water line that goes as far as Shuffling. And then if you live around the Somalia Drive, we also have a 16-inch water line that goes as far as Freeport. Then on the Cowell belt, we have 16-inch that also goes through Cowell towards town. So we have the entire system loop in our network.
Okay. So so let's go now in a rural area. What are the rural areas? Let's talk about some of the projects because there are times things can be happening right near us. We don't know. But the radio, is there to inform us in other news. Like for example, radio, the new media, you have the online TV, which of course we are also on TV right now. If you can also go on Real TV page, you will see us online as well. So things can be happening right near us, and people will not know. They'll be saying, "Oh, you put a more Ali ain't doing nothing." So it's important for us to invite other people who are serving in the public or in the government space to respond to inform the people they in being informed is a right. They need to be informed. So maybe the woman they don't know what's going on near them and they need to be informed. So now the director of project and planning is here, he's here to inform us. So tell us about whether you have your future plans or those projects that you are working on currently in the rural areas.
Yes, firstly, I must say the managing director, Honorable Muhammad Ali, is working extremely hard. Sometimes you look at him, you see the face, he's tired, but he wants to work to make sure that things happen. When the new management took over, you realize that we did not have supply in Kakata, in Buchanan, and Grand Jide. But just within few months, management has been able to put Kakata back on. So water supply has been restored to Kakata. Feasibility studies and for the rehabilitation of Grand Bassa has been completed, and very soon Grand Bassa will come on. So
if these areas you're talking about,
yes.
If you say Grand Bassa coming on, the entire Grand Bassa or certain
in Buchanan, the city of Buchanan, we have a system in Buchanan already, but the system has been down for a couple of months before the inception of this administration. So they are working hard to put Grand Bassa on. The assessment has been completed already. So in the very near future, that will be on. But for Grand Jide also, the challenge is like for rural environments, project implementation is a different dynamic. You look at the issue of logistics and the issue of rural connectivity. So now getting to Grand Jide is completely challenging. So the target has been set, and management is just waiting for timing for the rural to be very good, and then Grand Jide will be on, because all the groundwork has been done already for Grand Jide.
They will get water too.
They will get water. The system is already on. The system is already on. The system has been on in time past, but the system was dormant over a couple of months. So this management wants to make sure that the people of Grand Jide also have water supply.
Okay.
Yeah, and you talked about the PPP. So when these projects are implemented, who is responsible for the maintenance aspect?
Now, if the project is constructed either by donors or maybe LWSC, if you give the contract out to a private institution, the contract will spell out all the responsibilities, who's supposed to do what and who's supposed to do X. So if Water and Sewer is there to monitor, to provide maybe other skills or whatsoever, the project document or the contract document will spell out everything. So for Cape Mount, in time past, we had a maintenance contract with a Liberian company. So they were managing the system, and we had a resident engineer who was there during the construction of the facility, and he had vast knowledge on everything that happens there. So he is there like an eye for LWSC. So in case of anything, then we can send the technicians to go and give the support.
Okay. So it is spelled out it's spelled out in a contract.
Definitely.
So how does the communities get involved?
So normally in projects, you have to take the community as first priority, because if you want to send water to maybe River G, if the community does not accept the project, or if the community does not understand exactly what the project is, what benefits the project has on the people of River G, it means that they will not utilize the project. So community engagement is one of the first things that we emphasize on. Even the donor partners, they prioritize community engagement. So in our office, we have social community management and hygiene expert. She's responsible for all of that, engaging with the community to discuss with them, to tell them what they want. We have Caroline F. Faya. So she's responsible for that. She's somebody with verbal competence. I mean, somebody who does not just speak English, but who conveys message with the proper intentions, so that the community will understand that this X is good for us, or this why is good for us. So you have to convey the message for them to willingly accept the project. So the
Okay.
community is also involved. We did that also with the sanitation project in New Jersey and Soul Clinic. So we engage with the youth presidents, the
Mhm.
community leadership, so that they will decide what they want. So
Okay.
initially we had a project of pool flush latrine, 5 for women, 5 for male. But because of the engagement, the community informed us that they also need something to take bath. So there will be others who will want to have shower. So we created shower in it. So the engagement also makes the project to be better.
So, meaning they okay. So, do the communities on their own reach to you as a project director, or you identified where you do your assessment and know where there are gaps?
So if, for instance, if we conduct feasibility studies
Mhm.
in a particular location and we do all the analysis and everything before the implementation, once the project document is on, before the implementation, you have to call a meeting with either the people's representative,
Mhm.
and then the person will introduce you to the community or maybe the township. You have to discuss with all the stakeholders involved. So after discussing with the stakeholders, they now will play their own part in the project. For instance, there are some projects that requires the community to also help. Maybe we want to build pool flush latrine,
Mhm.
but there is no funding for land. We are only there to invest to build a latrine, but the community need to contribute to provide the land. So now we go to the community chairman, he goes to block leaders, youth presidents, and
Mhm.
all those people. So they will talk to their people, and people will volunteer to give piece of land for the construction of a facility. Now, after the construction of the facility comes another management arrangement.
Mhm.
So we supply water, we meter the water, and then you pay us the water consumption. You manage the latrine. We do 40/60 or 50/50 so that everybody can benefit. That's how
That's
it is
the
done.
PPP.
No, that
That's
is just a regular operation for water and sewer.
oh,
So the
okay.
PPP is separate. You give it to a private individual,
Uh-huh.
they manage it. Ministry of Internal Affairs has a part to play.
Okay.
You have LWSC, you have the the community in which it is built, the
Okay.
leadership there, and then it is set up that way.
Okay.
Everybody has his or her own part.
Okay. So before Princess comes in, there are lot of communities that they don't even know, their way in getting water. Yeah, they don't even know where to start from, and they are out of the entire stuff, right? They feel abandoned. Okay, we know that you're working in, I mean, within a shortest time, we've seen the work you've carried on. So can these people put together as a community write projects, or ask the Liberal Water and Sewer, say, yo, please come to our area. I know we want, because we do our project, or the young people come together, they put their brain together, they listening right now, they write their project and send it, to your office. Can it also be done that way, and then you come in along with other partners if funding is made available?
Of course, of course. For instance, on a small scale, we have had several communities that have been writing water and sewer. Like the community chairperson will write, the deputy for technical services or the managing director or whosoever he can convey his message through.
Mhm.
He writes and then requesting water and sewer, to provide water supply services in that area. So what we do normally is that we send block mapping. We have a department for block mapping and GIS works. So they go and map the entire area. They will show us the pipelines going into the neighborhood.
Mhm.
Then based on that, we will look at the design, the map design, and then we do estimate, we do all the necessary documentation to know how much it costs for us to, supply water in such community. Sometimes the community has, 50%, and then water and sewer also helps with 50%.
Okay.
So it is done like that. So once the community requests, and sometimes we do our own assessment because they are growing communities. We see that the community is very populated, because if the community is not densely populated, it becomes extremely expensive to take, even for an individual. Take for example, if you want to run a water line from Truth FM maybe to Tuporo Market on your own, it means that you need so many pipes, right? But if you have 13 persons along the route, so if you buy 5 pipes, the next buy 5 pipes, the other person buy 5 pipes,
So
it
if the,
becomes cheaper,
so if the place
right?
is not populated.
So if the place is populated, we ourselves we just move in. We have been
Okay.
mapping communities like that. We easily move in and supply. So some communities are scattered apart, right? So even if we have water supply, so individual households, it becomes difficult for them to fund their own water supply. For instance, we have water around Fiha.
Mhm.
So some houses are very far. So it becomes challenging in that instance.
Yeah, Princess.
Okay. So like when you give a water to a particular home, because you know most of the people do not have an understanding about how the pricing go about, like when you come for your bill. Can you throw more light on that? Like you give a home or water and then the meter is there. How do you go about reading that meter and telling the people or relating to them that this is the amount, and for them to be convinced that it's true, that's the amount they are owing? Because I have seen bulk of instances where people like making flour or saying things that they're not understanding the process.
It is quite simple, right? Uh, our meter readers always do that. When you are reading the meter, you always take the customer towards the meter for the customer to see the value. So sometimes the customer goes to customer services or to account receivables to go and check their bill and to do payment. The account officer will show you how to calculate the water. Sometimes when the customer argues, maybe they do not understand, how the calculation is done, but most of the times the meter readers will always show them how to convert from cubic meter, and then to apply from cubic meter to gallons and then to apply. For instance, even for water point chaos, the
Mhm.
one we have where you have the community going with the jerry can, the 5 gallon container.
Yeah.
So that is just $5 LD. So the water is extremely cheap.
Okay.
Yes. So anytime the meter reader goes to your house, once you are home, the meter reader takes you there and then helps you to go through the calculation process, so that if you understand it, you even know how much water you consume before the end of the month.
Okay. So, okay, so if you are following, listening from anywhere in the world right now or anywhere, I mean, this is Truth FM 96.1, and we are online as well. You can also catch us online, Real TV online. This is her voice. Her voice is here every Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 12. And I'm Magdalene Fenasa. I'm here with Princess. And we have our guest, Mr. Joseph Sabonda from Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. He is the director for projects and planning. So tell us about you. Okay, you've placed some emphasis on the planning process, meaning you go in the community, do some assessment. But can you place some more emphasis on the planning aspect?
Yeah, it's just like another project. Right? If you, for instance, we want to supply water to both groups.
Yeah.
So the first thing is we have to come and check the entire Tuporo,
Okay.
right? We check the population. We have to, because the demand
So
is
I
is a
want for you
very
to break the population down.
the demand is a very key thing. For instance, if we have an individual who in Liberia you use 75 gallons per day, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So we notice that in your environment, the population there, based on latest statistics, maybe the population is 15,000.
Okay.
So we have to look at that population. and project a demand for either 10 years or more, because if you build a water facility, the water facility does not expand with years, right? But the population grows. So you have to design the water facility beyond the current population. So we do all of those planning aspects, and before we start engaging the people in the neighborhood. Behind the scene, the community will get involved. The chairperson and all the leadership of the community will get involved. But when the implementation comes, that's the time you notice all the communities you have town hall meetings to explain to them what the project is all about, and so forth.
Have you been resisted at some point because you always have the community chairperson? You know, sometimes people politicize everything. You say, oh, you know, they may have on. I saw him, you know, somewhere, and he part of the other party. They want, you know, trying to get our people's attention. Have you been resisted at some point? And
Yes.
what strategies did you use?
Basically, the resistance is not based on the political affiliation. Sometimes the resistance is that you are constructing a water line, right? For instance, we were constructing a water line from inside New Georgia towards Simaka Junction. So we reached a certain point, and the individual said we could not pass through his property. We just wanted to use maybe 3 feet of the land to just pass through the property, and he did not want to allow it. So that's where you have the social community management and hygiene expert. We ask you, we have some challenges here. You go there, you go and discuss, you inform the person on the importance of this, and you tell them that this place, sometimes the place is even an alley, because what we do is we use alley. But if we are constrained to use, you know, portion of your land, we also go and discuss with you. So we have to discuss with you. The person will talk to you, explain to you, and with time they buy the idea and allow us to do it. And those people are always the first to even request the services.
Request.
Yes,
but how do
that
you do
is
it now? You
true.
use my land, you use the you use the land, a piece of the land, and is there any kind of
No, you have
negotiation?
the pipe is just very small, right? So all we want to do is, maybe you have your land, the pipe will just pass in front of your place, not to obstruct in any way. So if the project will obstruct your property in any way, there's another arrangement that has to go through. So for the minimum, you know, obstruction, we talk to the person, and sometimes they even come to us to tell us that if you want to construct water kiosk, over here on my land. Like the citizens are very welcoming mostly.
Okay, okay. So let's talk about, you know, providing water. I see you now. I see the MD. You call me. You hold a very big position over there. So let's talk about providing water for the, or how should I even put it? Like, for example, walking along the road, and then maybe you need water to drink. You don't have money, and you providing water at public areas. Do you do that? Because I don't really see, apart from hand pumps and stuff like that, but there should be some station where when people play football, at least or they go and discuss and have some, they go and drink. This is not something that should be in Haiti, or should be, you know, but it should just be like affordable. Yes.
Yes, yeah. I said earlier that the water is very, very affordable, right? For instance, when you talk about for it to be available in public areas, right? We were just instructed by the managing director. It's just a breaking news that in Central Monrovia, we should find locations everywhere to construct standpipes. Even if the communities are going to pay, it should be very much accessible. So if you leave your house and you are walking on the street, you see the water, you can easily go and have access, right? So he has already passed that instruction. So like I told you from the onset, he's extreme. He's working to do strange things that are not common, right, in our
Strange
society.
things.
Things that are not
Like,
common.
just I'll go out and want to drink.
Yes, you see the water, you can easily open tap and you drink. It's easy like
So
that.
as part of your, you know, feasibility studies, um, the team goes there and assess the area to see whether this place is we can get water, we can get something good from here, test the water to see whether it's good for drinking, for consumption.
Yes. So if you are doing, for instance, if you are doing like a groundwater system, like you drill a well in your yard, the treatment demand is less than having surface water. For instance, if you have the simple, without being a water supply engineer or a hydraulic engineer, you stand on a simple bridge and see the color of the water, you know that it is not clean, right? So if you have groundwater, taking water from a borehole and taking water from the well, if you compare them, the treatment demands are different. So we before completing a well at every level, because if you have the entire specification given to a contractor at every interval, maybe you say every 20 feet or 20 or 10 meters, they should collect sample and then test. So every level they will test. So if the person finds certain minerals in the water that will be very difficult to treat or expensive, then it means that the client will have to relocate that particular well site. So we do all of those things. That's the reason why in the rural areas, the water supply is not as challenging as the urban areas. Because if you have a well and then you supply the water to a tower, the treatment demand there is different from having, supply from surface water.
Okay. Yeah. So we're getting to know what are those projects that were implemented in the past at the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, and some of the projects they are currently working on. So yes, we are winding down slowly. We are going to open the lines very soon, but we want to go back, want to rewind the cassette and take you back to the rural areas again, and specifically telling us those areas. The last time I attended a WASH training, and the guys were raising some issues because bulk of them came from the rural areas, and they're I mean, even in Monserrato, where we say that, that city area, we struggle a lot when, with some of these services. So I want you again to inform our people some of the projects that were implemented, the ones that you are currently working on, and the future plans before we can open the lines.
We currently have a contract to do the 48-inch water line, right? That will be completed next year. So management is working hard to ensure that sufficient volume of water is supplied to Monrovia. For instance, we have the largest pipe in the system now is 36-inch. So we are increasing that to 48-inch based on the demand of the population. So besides that, management is also working on how to increase the size of the pipe also from Painesville to Congo Town. So the partners are also forthcoming because management is extremely serious. They are very focused to make sure that water supply reach to every home, not just in Monserrato, in other rural parts also.
Okay.
So your program basically has a focus on women also. Yes. So for us, the work we do, we also look at women in water supply in this rural setting as Liberia. One of the things we look at is we look at the women. If you are doing arrangement and then you don't consider the women, you miss a lot of steps. So what I see is keenly focusing on that, because for us in Liberia, women will actually tell you the sources of water. They will also inform you the most unique area to consider for placement of your water, because they spend longer time going to fetch water
Okay.
for household purposes, and also the kids. Also, you cannot create a water facility that is far from the population center. So that is one of the things that we consider a lot, women
Okay.
participation in water supply.
Okay, so you said when you go to a community, you have meeting with the chairperson. I don't know who, because you considering women in the decision making aspect. How do you do it? Because the chairman will there, for example, receive a call and go for a meeting where if a community doesn't have women as part of the leadership, how do you get them on?
So the thing is, women voices are very powerful. We know that from our own planning process. For instance, the managing director mandated that the project we have in Kawe, the rehabilitation project, be supervised by female engineers, and they are supervising the works now. It's
Okay.
ongoing. We have a chlorine dosing unit project in White Plains. They are supervising that without the help of any senior engineers. So the women are one of the best when it comes to planning water systems. So
Okay.
we always identify them,
Okay.
because part of the project will always have gender aspects. So the social community management person will always look for women to deal with those issues.
Okay. So let's talk about partnership. How are you working with Water Aid? Because you on this platform is sponsored by Water Aid. So tell us about
Oh,
your
currently, nothing much I can say, but I
okay.
know Water Aid is doing a lot when it comes to building mini water systems.
Okay.
Uh, They are currently working, I think in Todi, they install some water system that I'm aware of.
Okay. All right. So, but yes, your future plans
Yes,
to collaborate to work on projects.
of course. In the first place, they are our biggest sponsors, the donor communities, all these local and international NGOs. So every time we have different kind of meetings, so if even Water Aid does a water project by themselves, at the end of the project, they always contact management, because we will manage the project. So they do
Okay.
it for us, for the Liberian people. So they always, have a memorandum of understanding how it should be managed in collaboration with the community.
Okay.
So even CRS does the same thing. They build and then they ask us. We go and we monitor even the training of those who manage the system, the water quality training. We are always involved. So they have been very much helpful in the process.
All right. So thanks to every one of you for listening. It's a time you want to place in a call to interact with the project manager. You want to know whether it's possible that whether your community that rocky area you get, whether water can go there, whether you can get connected. You can get connected. So but yeah, I don't know, but the community too gotta be clean, yeah, because it's not possible for you to just go and pump somewhere or run water to a place where it's so garbage. You consider that too,
No,
right?
no, no. For that's the reason why we need to use pipe-borne water.
Okay, pardon.
Because, for instance, we have waste everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a well that is less than 150 feet from your house, where you have your septic tank, it means that there will be groundwater infiltration, so the well will be contaminated. So you use pipe-borne water, there will be no issues.
Pipe
The
on
water,
water.
yes,
The water
yes,
that running inside
the water running in the pipe,
in the house.
yes, coming straight to your house.
Okay, so that
So,
one they get
so
nothing to do with the
no,
sewage
no
system.
impurities, nothing.
Okay.
So even if you have a water point chaos, it is a pipe that conveys the water to that chaos. So there is no contact with any groundwater, polluted groundwater.
So we said no to
So
hand pump and
so
wells.
so all of those things, yeah, for rural areas, some areas it's
Mm-hmm.
okay, but we want to encourage people to use the pipe-borne water.
Okay.
Actually, it's very safe.
All right. So 0777285961. 0777 is the number to call to be part of the conversation. We'll take at least 4 calls. Yes, 0777285961. If you want to interact, you have any concern, place in your call to 0777285961. We have the project and planning director from the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. You want to know whether it's possible that you can work on a project to answer the main concern that you know going to perform miracles, and you just just happy overnight. Sometimes you submit a proposal, it takes maybe over a year, and but you just have to be consistent. Let me take the first caller. Hello.
How are you, Madam?
I'm fine. It's good to have you on. I'm good, Chief.
Hello?
Yes, sir, you are live. Yes, sir. Okay, why please no water? Why please no water? Yeah. You say water came back. Oh, yeah. Hello. Yes, I'm fine, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, you are live. Okay. Yeah, when you call, yeah, just stay away from your monitor, please. Hello? Yeah, just stay away from the monitor. You can't disrupt the entire, yeah, just stay away from your monitor. We're begging you. Stop eating other people's time. Yeah, 0777285961. We'll take at least 2 more calls. We have 5 minutes to go, and the news summary is coming up. Yes, so let me take 1 more call. Somebody. 0777285961. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
This is Bobby Carson calling from Shinko.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how where water is not safe. But so what about those guys who have the water company taking water out of the well, the purify it. So then what I would think about them water to continue with it. Is it safe? Because it's a water platform. So for us.
Okay, so I take the last caller. Yeah. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. It's good to have you on quickly.
Good morning.
Yes, sir, you are on. Hello. Okay, so I'm sorry, we can't take calls again. Yes, you guys will call and you have all your monitors around. It's just so you listen to the callers who have taken a lot, but some of the lines are terrible. Yes, so just give a minute, your parting comment and respond to those questions.
I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to my boss for allowing me to step in his shoes, even though it's a very big shoes. So I had to,
I see you so relaxed like the way you be responding to questions.
So I want to say thanks to him. He's extremely hardworking. He has
Let me squeeze in the caller here. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for your feedback. Yeah, my name is Mokola and I'm from Morrison Farm, right behind the Mokola factory.
Yeah, and you said?
Yeah, there's a water tower that we have in our community, and since there was commission for the government of Liberia and the community, we have now water installation in our area, and we have over 300 to 400 phones in the place.
Okay, you said where again?
Behind the Coca-Cola factory.
Behind the Coca-Cola factory. I get you. So, Chief, just close up. We have less than 1 minute to be on the
Yes.
show.
So let me start with the last question. Behind Coca-Cola factory, we have the Soul Clinic groundwater system.
Okay.
So we have 400 cubic meter elevated tower, which is around 105,000 gallon storage facility we have.
Okay.
So for the time past, we have had so many wrong installations in the system. So management instructed us to go and correct the system.
Okay.
So most of the illegal connections were added on the transmission line because we designed the system such that the system will manage the pressure by itself.
Okay.
We have the transmission, the distribution moving parallel, and only from the connection chambers, customers are supposed to be connected.
Okay.
So we are correcting those aspects so that all the customers can be given water. Now,
Thank you.
The last part that has to do with Harrisburg.
Yeah.
The managing director instructed us to conduct assessment, and we have the report already for Harrisburg. So very soon, that person will start having our services.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for honoring our invitation. Yes, we got to go. New summer is coming up next.